Hello, my name's Lizzie. I'm Anglican, and in 5 days' time, I'm going to be moving into a convent ready to become a postulant. I've almost got through all the questions that people have been asking me, and one of those most frequently asked questions has been, can you leave the convent if you don't like it? So here is a video answering that question.
I will hold your people in my heart.
If you've seen some of my other videos just explaining the process or explaining like what a postulant is and that kind of thing, you'll know that it's deliberately done in stages so that you're not having to make massive decisions or do like extreme things too quickly. So for example, when you enter a religious community as a postulant, you don't have to sell your house, or you don't have to get rid of all your possessions. You can just keep them in storage, and part of the reason for that is so that if you feel that that religious life or that this particular community isn't for you, then you've still got your house to go back to, or you've still got your possessions waiting for you. So it's all set up so that you can leave very easily if you feel it's not for you. And the same with, I would hand in my bank card, but I'm pretty sure it's kept like locked in a safe somewhere. And if I ever wanted to leave the convent or leave the community, I think I would just need to just say so and ask for my card back, and I'd be given it back. And that's another reason why like no one's going to ask me to close down my bank account. I don't know if maybe that happens like years and years down the line, but for quite a long time, I'm pretty sure you still have your bank account there, and just with your card kept safe for you. So if at any point you felt it wasn't right for you, you could just ask for your bank card your bank card back, and then you could just leave the convent and still have like some money to travel somewhere with, and work out like the next stage of what you're going to do. And I think I've mentioned in another video that people have come out at different stages. Either they fulfilled their kind of postulant time, then realised it wasn't right for them to move on, or it might be that having spent their few months as a postulant, they realised it wasn't quite the right community, and then the community they were living with maybe suggested, oh, maybe actually you're called to this different religious order instead. I know a sister who was a postulant with one community or one order, realised it wasn't for her, and then has ended up like making final profession in a different order. So sometimes it's just like stepping stones on a discernment journey. But and then I've heard of other people that have come out of a convent later on in the process, like maybe after their kind of a few years as a novice, or after they I think I heard about one sister who it just felt right that she took her kind of first vows but didn't go on to make her final profession. So I think people come out at different stages, and I guess it's sensible to try and like fulfill the stage that you're in, because if we all just left things when we found them difficult, then we wouldn't like stick things out. So I guess like I guess like the correct way to do something is to fulfill the number of months of the stage that you're in. So where I'm going, you're a postulant for 6 months. So I think really it'd be sensible to stick out the 6 months, and then sort of discuss what feels right, or what the community are discerning. And then if the next stage is a 2 year stage or whatever it is, that then you fulfill that 2 years, and then talk about whether you're going to come out or not. But I think the answer is that you're not locked in. No one's stopping you from leaving on any day if you really, really wanted to leave. And even there are occasions where I know that people who even made final profession have come out of religious life. I guess like that would be the equivalent of getting a divorce or something like that. But no one's, well, in a way, in human terms, no one's like forcing you to stay. I guess ultimately it's about discerning where God wants you, and if God is asking you to stay, then it's probably best to stay where God's asking you to stay. But ultimately, like, it's not a prison basically. You can leave if you you really feel it's right to leave. Hello again, I'm just editing this video, and I suddenly thought of a couple of other things on this kind of topic that are probably worth mentioning. One is that just as I might want to leave a convent or feel it's right to leave, the flip side of that, because it's a joint discernment process, is that the sisters could feel it's right for me to leave. Either they might feel it's not quite the right community for me and maybe point me in the direction of a community they felt was more right for me, or a more extreme situation might be that just I'm really like being disruptive or not fitting in at all, or it just seems clear that religious life it isn't for me. And I think in those kind of more extreme cases, the sisters could just actually kind of like ask you to leave or encourage you to leave. So there's always that side of it too. And then the other thing that I don't think I'd mentioned earlier was that in all of this, the sisters have actually asked me, because it is a discernment process, just to always be as honest as possible with them about how I'm feeling and how I'm finding it, because they need to discern if it's right that I stay with them, and if it seems to be God's will. And part of that is, for my part, I need to be as honest as possible with them and let them know if I'm like struggling with things or finding things difficult or feeling unhappy or stuff like that. So I just thought I'd add that too, because at the end of the day, we're all just trying to discern God's will.